Hey gang, John Baccarella here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is Wednesday, September 10th. Water temperature at Belle Isle continues that downward slide. We're at about 66 degrees right now, at least the last time I checked, which is about the lowest it's been. We were at 70 when we did the last report, which was not last week, but the week before. So we're still making good, steady progress. Lots of cold nights, relatively low daytime highs, and shorter days. So that water temperature keeps going down. Shoreline temps are even lower than that. We're getting reports like low 60s, 62, 64-ish, down along the mile roads and other shallow areas. But that main channel, like I talked about in that last report, is going to be warmer now generally than we're going to see along the shorelines, because the ambient temperature is going to affect those shoreline temps more. And then that Lake Huron effect is affecting that main channel and all up into the St. Clair River and all the channel cuts. Now, if you want to see the real story of what's going to happen, and I've been kind of tracking this, those buoy temps up on Lake Huron have made a dramatic change. I mean, just like our lake temps, if you want to see what our lake temps are going to be in another week or so, all you got to do is look at those buoy temps up to the north, and you can see that they've continued the drop. And there's even some upper 40s now, like up off of Alpena. And I think the reason that happened up there is not only have they been colder up there, but we've had a couple of big blows. Even though they weren't a north blow, they were enough to create enough turbulence up there to really mix that water up. So that water is eventually going to work its way down into Lake St. Clair, and we're just going to keep going down. So that's the way that works. The weather going forward looks like we're going to have some pretty decent weather going forward for the next several days, with maybe Friday being the best day coming up. Thursday doesn't look bad. Tomorrow doesn't look bad either. And then maybe a chance of rain Saturday afternoon. But the winds overall don't look bad. I'm not seeing anything in the forecast over like 12 or 13 miles an hour. Maybe not great directions. I think on Saturday it might be like maybe a little bit of a northeast wind on Saturday, but I don't see anything blowing really hard. So it doesn't look like anything that's going to ruin your day out there on the lake. And next week, the weather looks pretty darn good with moderating temperatures, upper 70s, and relatively light winds. So if you're planning a trip to come up, looks like the weather is going to be good for that. So it's not going to be bad. Nothing scary coming up. Looking at the satellite imagery, similar to what we talked about in that last report, only maybe more defined. There's definitely a lot of color on that south shore on the Canadian side, kind of hugging the shoreline. And then mid-lake has kind of got that mixture of color out there that you walleye guys like. So mid-lake, probably out in 14 feet and deeper, has got some color. So hint, hint, if you want to troll for walleyes, and you can keep those rigs clean with the wind or with the weeds that we're starting to see showing up on the surface, you should be able to get into some eyes out there. And then down through the mile roads, real clear conditions. So for you guys casting for bass, you like that clear water. Looks like we got a lot of clear water all the way from the point at Metro going down through the mile road. So that looks great. And my truck's been in the shop or been out of commission for a while waiting for parts. And I'm really chomping at the bit to get back out in the kayak and do some of that close to shore smallie fishing, but I haven't been able to. So hopefully I'll be getting my van back here real quick, and I can get back out in the kayak and do some fishing out there. So anyways, keeping my fingers crossed that everything goes smooth on the work that they're doing right now. As far as perch reports go, we're still getting some reports like down off still that same area, that south end of the lake, Grosse Pointe Yacht Club, dumping ground area, and probably getting just as many reports up on the north end, up in the south channel and middle channel, and up in the cuts up there. Some of those guys have been doing really good fishing, on those weed lines and stuff up there. It's probably more spot specific up in those areas, right? So it's something you got to learn, and it's generally a smaller boat fishery up in those areas, but the guys catch a lot of fish up there. Wouldn't surprise me if areas like the B marker get going. And here's the crazy part that we keep hearing from guys, and this is almost every day. The guys that are coming in that are targeting smallies that are out there throwing drop shot rigs and everything are complaining about all the perch they're catching. And then a lot of the guys that are out there perch fishing are complaining about all the smallies they're catching. So somehow or another, you guys got to start talking to each other, and then I think everybody will be happy. Start sharing that information, and maybe you can zero in on those target species out there, because it is funny, because we hear that all the time in the store. It is what it is. As for the smallie bite, Garrett Samsel up there in the north end just keeps proving over and over and over again to his clients that he's got them dialed in up there, and he catches a lot of smallies all season long, and now going all the way up into the fall. We are getting some reports of some really big smallies being caught by the shore guys up underneath that Blue Water Bridge up there, across from between Sarnia and Port Huron. So there's still obviously a lot of fish up there in the river system, but with that water temperature in the mid 60s up there, that is like ideal temps for those smallies. And there's a lot of bait up there as well too. So there's some big fish up there in that St. Clair River system still. And I would have guessed that they're going to stay up there until that really cold push of water comes down out of Lake Huron, and then it'll push them back down into Lake St. Clair. At least that's what I figure those fish do at that time of the year. So, but yeah, a lot of fish being caught up there. And Garrett posted online that one of his clients just got a 6-pound plus smallie, but at the same time, he also posted that on that same trip out there, they got a 32-inch sheephead. And so I was really curious which fish fought better. Was it that 6-pound smallie, or was it that 32-inch sheephead? Because we've had some discussions in the store a couple of times just recently talking about the sheephead and how nobody gives the sheephead any respect, right? But the sheephead fight like crazy. They fight fantastically, actually. And for me, I think it's just a psychological thing, right? I mean, everybody, they fight, especially if you're a bass fisherman, right? You hook a good fish, you fight it, it's giving you great runs, and you're praying that it's not a sheephead and that it's a big smallie instead, right? Even for a non-tournament fisherman, that's still, mentally what goes on. I think you just gotta you just got to embrace the fight and enjoy it regardless of what it is. And whatever it is, you know what I mean? If it's a big sheephead and it fought good, fantastic. If it's a big smallie and it fought great, that's even better. But just enjoy the fight, and I still do. I still enjoy the fight of those big sheephead, especially when it's on lighter tackle, because, man, they can really make some great runs. We are getting reports of more and more fish now from Harley all down through the American side, all the way down to the Detroit River, more and more fish showing up shallow for these smallies, okay? So if you are a smallie hunter, you really need to check some shallow spots. If you got spots, if you got structure marked, especially in like that 8 foot of water range, especially early in the day or late in the day, you really need to check those spots, because that with the water temps where they are now, those fish can literally be anywhere. And if there's bait fish there, they're going to be there. And if you've got crayfish there, they're going to be there. So, especially with rocks and vegetation that bring those fall crayfish out, you're going to find smallies in those areas. They may not be in big schools, they may be in pods, and they may be moving, but they're going to be in there. So they could literally be anywhere right now. That water temperature is not a factor. They can be up in a couple of feet of water if there's food there, but generally right around that 8 foot range is a really solid depth to start at, and then maybe move out from there. Let's see, I'm thinking about what else. Okay, and talking about walleye, the reports on the walleyes have been kind of light, guys. The only thing I will say is that we've been getting reports. And again, to go back to Garrett Samsel, he's been catching fish up there, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's getting those fish out of the middle channel, because we are getting reports of a pretty good school of fish up there in the middle channel right now, although there are a lot of smaller fish mixed in. Now, the other reports that we're getting is the guys that are already whipping, and I know I've seen some reports online where guys are saying, the whipping bite's gonna start, it's not quite there yet. Well, the guys I'm talking to are doing really good whipping at night already. So if you're somebody that's into that, maybe it's time to get out there and do it now before all the crowds get out there and go crazy, because the bite is on, and guys are taking really nice fish right now. And I'm not hearing about throwbacks once that sun goes down. We're hearing the average size is, like 18 to 20 inches in that range, which are nice solid fish. So if you're a whipper, the time has come. I'm also hearing that the mosquitoes are down. So, and that, I know that's a big thing during the middle of the summer that keeps the guys off the water. But with these cold nights that we've had, it sounds like it's really taken the sting, so to speak, out of those skeeters, and the numbers are way down on them, and that's not an issue right now. Could change, I guess, if we get another. It's supposed to warm up next week. Maybe we'll get another hatch of those skeeters. But right now, it sounds like that is not an issue. So if that's been discouraging you, then you probably want to get out and give it a shot now, because it doesn't sound like it's an issue anymore. Let's see, thinking about anything else. Yeah, just to go back for you walleye guys, what I was talking about with that color in the water out there, Main Lake. Usually that's what you guys want, is that little bit of off-color water, so you can run those boards a little bit tighter, and get better spreads. And the only problem right now this time of the year is going to be the weeds, like I was talking about, because we are going to start losing weeds out there with these blows, shorter hours of daylight, and then the lower water temps. We're going to start getting weed die-off out there, and so that becomes an issue for you guys that are trolling. So you might have to hunt to find an area based on what the prevailing winds have been for a day or two, to tell you where you can troll and where you can't cleanly get your lines through. Musky bite, that's been picking up. It's just getting better and better all the way as we go through the fall. I've been watching Captain Jason Quintano, Fins and Grins, and I think he just posted they went like 25 for 35 or something. I don't know if that was a day. I'm guessing it was over a weekend, but it is not uncommon when we go into the fall, especially when we get into October and going into November, that these guys will do double digits out there on muskies very regularly. So also watch Garrett. He's also chasing muskies out there, and he's been getting some nice fish too, and he's saying the same thing. The musky bite has really been going. I think when we had that big temperature drop all at one time, it probably shell-shocked all these fish out there just a little bit, but it seems like they've recovered now, and the bite on all the fish has picked up just a little bit now. They're getting used to that temperature, and that drop has kind of slowed down. We're only losing maybe a degree or so every couple of days, so it's not as dramatic for those fish yet. They know that fall is coming, so they put that feed bag on and they get going out there. Fall is also prime time for sturgeon, and I'll be going out with my buddy Jeff, and also with Dreamcatcher Charters with Connor Barr tomorrow, and I'll hopefully have some footage for the next video that we do, so that show you guys a little bit more about the sturgeon fishing out there in the St. Clair River. So we got good weather, so hopefully we can get a couple of fish on, and I'll learn a little bit out there as well. So one last thing I wanted to talk about here, and that is that the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association has got a couple of different perch contests that are going on over the next month or so. And there's a sign-up sheet that you can pick up either at Lakeside or at our shop or up at Anglers Point. And I know that the sign-up for the event this weekend is already closed for the event at Lakeside. But for the event that's coming at our store, I think it's going to be on September 27th, and you've got until the 17th to sign up. And then the event that's going to be at Anglers Point is going to be later than that, and it's kind of the same deal. There's a cutoff time for the sign up on it and the deadline, and then I think their event's in October. So if you're a perch fisherman and you like a little bit of competition, a little friendly competition, the sign-up sheets are at all of our stores. There may be some other places. I'm guessing you can probably get it through the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association on their Facebook page as well. But anyways, with all that said, we've got some great weather ahead of us this weekend. The fishing's just going to get better as the temperatures go down, so get out there and enjoy it. Hey gang, if you like our content, hit the little subscribe button and the bell icon, and you'll be notified as soon as we put out new stuff.